So Seth knows, Alex, you do not. I had a very large business. I had close to an $80 million portfolio in 2008 and 9. Like I started in 2001, went to 2009. I lost 77 million in assets in the recession. So you're going to do a background check. You should do a background check. You're going to find that there were a lot of court issues back then. Right? Just full disclosure, I've shared some of this stuff with Seth. I talk about it on LinkedIn pretty regularly, but you're new to me. So I want you to know that that's like a legit thing in my life. You're going to find it. So just...
I could pull you up right now and look at your whole history on the bank website if I really wanted to, but I will not. Okay.
I'm just saying that like there's some stuff. This is pre-syndication. It took me 9 years to build $80 million worth of assets, and it took me 9 months to lose it, and it's very obvious.
What's one thing that you would take away from that? Do you feel like you were over leveraged? What is like your kick me in the butt? What would that have been?
We had 30% equity across the board. We were not leveraged at all. My big issue is I went from a bunch at about 400 single family res. And then the first condo conversion, I went and bought a 13-story apartment building, which we closed in March with Lehman Brothers as our bank. And
Lord.
By September.
Oh, Lord.
It's a legit story. Everything
all you had to say was Lehman Brothers, man. Oh, my goodness. I heard those words. I'm like, okay. Nothing else needed to be said. You said the bank. I heard exactly the rest of the story. Oh, my Lord.
Everything. I will go to my grave thinking I did, because my contemporaries, like,
cents to the dollar to, what was it, U.S. Bank?
No, Barclays. It went to Barclays.
Barclays. It was Barclays. Yeah, that was.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah. And they just gobbled everything.
If you want a good story behind all of that, there's a book called Too Big to Fail.
Oh, yeah.
And it's literally just like the storyline of all these people, and he knows all of them by person. And they got all their stories about literally what happened in that 24-hour period of them figuring out, going, working all night. One dude was literally on vacation and had to take his private jet right back because the president of U.S. Bank was like, get your butt over here now. And then the president's like, don't care. Everybody, we're having a meeting right now at the Fed. It was
the most insane, because I watched it in real time, right? I'm like, oh, so we're in the middle of a reno, right? This is a 13-story apartment building. We took off the window. So we started, I mean, like every condo, you start with a roof, you fix the roof, and then you do the windows and doors. You work on the envelope, right? The roof was done. We had the cranes up. It was awesome. We start taking off windows. I have $350,000 worth of windows sitting in my parking lot, and they didn't pay for the crane. Like, no crane. They're not paying. They're not like, where's my crane? I have $500,000 worth of glass in the parking lot. I have an empty shell of a building, and there's no freaking glass. I can't, all of a sudden, June, July, August, September, October, and we go into receivership in late October. Like, we owned that building for 6 months. And had we not bought that, I would have been, I mean, we owned 400 plus single family res. Like, we were doing great until that stupid fiasco.
At least it wasn't being over leveraged.
No, we were 30% equity in everything we had. It was just a matter of all of a sudden we had $100,000 mortgage payments and no ability to pay it. And now we got the mortgage on top of a $6 million reno. I'm like, how do you survive it?
Why couldn't you just
Lehman Brothers, man?
Well, I know
that bank is stuck in your head for your life now.
Oh my God, I am permanently scarred for it. Like it.
You know, I have a shirt, right?
What's that?
I literally have a shirt that says Lehman Brothers on it.
Those guys, man. I will go to my grave knowing with certainty that I had a very good business. It was managed well. We had great cash flows, and it took 9 months to go to zero.
They were pulling in racks of money doing whatever they were doing because they just thought it would never topple. And then It did.
Yep. And they bailed out everybody else. I'm going to be pissed about this for the rest of my life. They bailed out everybody else.
There has to be a loser. There has to be a loser in every story.
Yep. So anyway, you're going to find that. Alex, you asked a question like, what did I learn? I learned a couple of really important pieces. Diversification of assets, location, and operators, right? Those three pieces. I'm never going to go back in the stock market. I don't like the stock market. I've always been a real estate guy, but operators, asset class, and location. My biggest problem is I was so centralized in one spot, Spartanburg, South Carolina, and Greenville, South Carolina. Of those 429 doors, 400 of them were in Spartanburg and Greenville. And when the BMW plant closed, that was 30% of my rental income coming in. And all of a sudden, I went to 30% economic vacancies in the small single family res. Yeah, I mean, those are big issues. So I had the big Skylar building, and then I had all these little single family res, and I was just too concentrated in one spot, one asset class, one operator, one spot.
I wouldn't say you were too concentrated in one asset class for that city. I think it was just the main source of your income was coming from one business, and it depended more or less on that structure of that business and how well they were doing.
Well, we had, I mean, our single family res were pulling in $250,000 a month. We were making, when we were doing the fix and flip stuff, we were making $1 million a month for 18 months in a row. Like, we had the revenue coming in. We just couldn't sustain a 30% vacancy in the single family res plus $100,000 a month mortgage on a building that was literally just brick and stone and nothing else. Yeah, it was just...
Who picked up that building and what happened to it?
Look it up. 275 South Church Street. It's gorgeous. Figure $1,500 a month rent times 113 units.
Oh, wow. That's a beautiful building. It's
I know.
How much did the next person purchase it for?
I'd have to look, but like
And do they still own it? Are they?
I do not know that answer.
They have a cell tower at the top. Looks like a tower lease situation. Wow.
I'm selling one of the cell towers that I've got on the building right now. I'm getting a $230,000 check for like the world's worst cell tower.
Worst cell tower?
Yeah, it's just, yeah, this is, I mean, okay, so this thing brings in $2 million a year times probably 80 divided by 0.07.
Brings in $2 million a year?
Yeah. It's probably a $25 million building right now, the way it sits. I paid 3.3 for that building.
Man.
Yep.
I mean, this goes back to the question of like the appreciation of things just over time.
Yeah.
And is there a better case you made for just, I know that that's the compassionate part where you're giving things back to people and recondoizing it so people can have their things back, which I think is, especially in the residential world, is a huge way of doing it. I love that.
We got to bring more people. We're close. The U.S. is like 66% owners and only 35% renters. When I was growing up, it was 50-50 solid. You were renting if you were really, truly indigent. Like, I bought my first house when I was 19.
Right.
I mean, I paid $2,500 down for my first house. I was single. I was a carpet cleaner. Like, that one decision changed my life. And I want desperately to help other people get to that same spot. I'm very interested in this partnership because it's clear we get along. It's clear we have similar values. I want people with similar values to help build an army of compassionate capitalists helping others become homeowners.
I love that. We do share those values.